morning, students. In previous class, we discussed about platyhelminthes. Is that right? So, in that liver fluke life cycle as well as another Taenia solium life cycle, that and all we studied in platyhelminthes. In today's class, we are going to start a new phylum, that is Aschelminthes. What is that new phylum? Aschelminthes phylum. Aschelminthes, also known as Nematohelminthes. Also known as nematoda. These are the old names. Okay. Whatever the phylum name which is going to be, you are going to be find out in any other books also. You just go through this. Aschelminthes, also known as Nematohelminthes, also known as nematoda. Is that right? These Aschelminthes are approximately 15,000 species which are going to be present. These are commonly called roundworms. Commonly called roundworms. Why it is commonly called as roundworms? So their body, the transverse section, body is going to be appears round. So that's why these are going to be roundworms. Okay. Next, if you comes to the these are the starting things, introduction things. Okay. Next, if you take where these particular organisms which are going to be present, these organisms are particularly habit and habitat. You just go to both habit and habitat. Okay. Parasite, endoparasite, parasite form, or free living. Example for this parasite form which is going to be present in Ascaris. Okay. Next, free living example. You can able to take it as example. Free living, it is going to be present. Particularly, you can able to take Rhabditis. Okay, Rhabditis. Example. Rhabditis, free living. Okay. Next, if you comes to that level of organization, organ system level of organization, symmetry, body symmetry, bilateral symmetry. What is mean by bilateral symmetry? When only one plane which is going to be passing through the central axis of the body organism, which divided into identical halves, two equal halves. Okay, that is bilateral symmetry. Next, level of organization, body symmetry. Next, coelom. Coelom is going to be, these are going to be Aschelminthes are pseudocoelomates. Aschelminthes are pseudocoelomates. Okay. Next one, gem layers. These are triploblastic. triploblastic in nature. Okay, next, if you take digestive system, muscular pharynx which is going to be present, which is rhythmic so digestive system which consists of muscular pharynx. So this muscular pharynx which is used for the get the food material, rhythmic pumping action. How they are going to be get the food material? With the rhythmic pumping action of the food material. So thereby which is going to be entered into the stomach. Okay. So digestive system like that. Next, there is no proper circulatory and respiratory systems. No proper circulatory and respiratory system which are going to be observed. Okay, from first onwards, once again I am going to go through. Aschia helminthes. So these are how many species which are going to present? 15,000 species which are going to be present, and these are commonly called roundworms due to whenever transverse section of the body which is going to be appears round, that's what these are going to be called as roundworms. Okay, next, if you take habitat and habitat, these are parasitic or free living organisms. So parasitic you can able to take it Ascaris, next Ankylostoma, Uchularia. So this and all parasitic in nature. Next, free living organism Ascaris is going to be Rhabditis. Okay, Rhabditis. Level of organization is going to be organ system level of organization. Next, body symmetry, bilateral symmetry. Next, coelom. These organisms are, even though triploblastic, these are going to be pseudocoelomates. That you just go through very clearly. Okay. Next, these organisms are going to be digestive system, muscular pharynx. How they are going to be get the food material? Once these organisms which are present inside the body of that particular organisms, the rhythmic pumping action of the food material which is going to be take through the muscular pharynx, this which particularly after the mouth which is going to be present. So with that they are going to be get the food material, and there is no proper or circulatory and respiratory systems which are going to be, here it is, there is no proper circulatory system, no proper respiratory system. Generally these organisms which are present inside the body, so they are going to be respire anaerobic respiration, they are going to be doing anaerobic respiration. Next, if you take body form, so these organisms are body form. Long body form, long cylindrical, tapering ends, long cylindrical tapering ends. Tapering means long cylindrical tapering ends. Tapering means, suppose if you take that particular organism, so like this is the tapering, this is the tapering ends, like this organisms which are going to be present. Next, if you go through that excretory system, these organisms, excretory system, Renneti cells which are going to present, Renneti cells which are going to present. In platyhelminthes, what are there? Clam cells which are going to present. Try to remember, clam cells which are responsible for that excretory material, like that. Here also Renneti cells which are responsible for that excretory material. Okay. Next, another reproductive system we are going to see. Reproductive system of these organisms. Reproductive system. So reproductive system in these organisms, these are separate systems. Males are unisexual, so males and females which are going to be present. Okay, so these are unisexual organisms. Sexual dimorphism you can able to observe. Sexual dimorphism you can able to observe. Next, fertilization is going to be internal fertilization. Fertilization is going to be internal. Fertilization is going to be internal. Next, development is going to be development. Direct and indirect both. Direct development is there and indirect development also is there in these organisms. Direct development, indirect development, both you can able to see. Okay. Examples. Ascaris, roundworm, Ascaris lumbricoides. Okay. Ascaris lumbricoides. Ascaris. Next, Ankylostoma, hookworm. Next, Wuchereria. Wuchereria bancrofti. Okay. Filarial worm. So like that, so many different types of examples you can able to observe in these Aschelminthes. Okay, so in this body form in Aschelminthes is going to be long cylindrical and tapering ends. You can able to observe this is the tapering ends. Next, excretory system is going to be renative cells which are going to present which excrete waste material. Next, reproductive system is males and females are separate sexual system, sexual organs, male having male reproductive system and female having female reproductive systems which are going to present unisexual and sexual dimorphism you can able to observe. Next, fertilization is internal fertilization takes place. Next, development, direct development as well as the indirect development you can able to observe. So larval form you can able to take it, larval form, rhabditiform larva, rhabditi, rhabditiform larva, rhabditiform larva you can able to observe. Okay, so these are example. If you take Ascaris lumbricoides is going to be roundworm. Next, Ankylostoma, hookworm, Wuchereria, filarial worm. So not only this one, some other examples also which are going to present. We are going to see. So first, so this is about simply general characteristic features of this particular Aschelminthes. Now we are going to discuss about little information regarding this Ascaris. Ascaris. Okay. Next. So Ascaris. Ascaris lumbricoides. This is the roundworm. Ascaris lumbricoides is roundworm. It is roundworm. Ascaris lumbricoides. Okay. It is common endoparasite. It is the common endoparasite. Common endoparasite. It is the common endoparasite in adult and children. In children, it is going to be majorly which is going to be present. It is the common endoparasite in adult and children. Next one. So here, if you are going to be observe this Ascaris, here it is males are there and females are there. Males are there, females are there. We are going to see the structure of male and female. Okay. This is the male one. This is the male. These are the tapering ends. Okay, these are the tapering ends. Okay, these are the tapering ends. Next, female one I am going to be dried. Okay, so this is the female one. So this is the male, this is the female. Generally, males are smaller, females are larger. Females are larger. Of course, if compare with the males and females, females are larger, okay, than the males. Okay. Next, middle one line which is going to be present, transverse line also which is going to be present like this. Here also it is one middle line which is going to be present. Okay, so like this which is going to be present, and here it is. This is the mouth. What is this? Mouth. In both the cases, it is going to be mouth. Next, here it is excretory pore. Here also excretory pore which is going to be present. Excretory pore which is going to present. Next, here it is a transverse line which is going to present. Here it is in this. These are the particularly cloaca. Here it is pineal setae which is going to present. In male, it is pineal setae which is going to present, and here it is just cloaca also which is going to present. Cloaca, cloaca also which is going to present. Okay. Next, here it is anus which is going to present in females. Anus which is going to present. Okay, that is in female. Okay. Next, so in this particularly you are going to be just go through it. Okay, this lateral line. Next, tail. This is the tail region also. Here it is. This is the tail region and anus part you can able to observe. Next, here it is. If you go through that mouth of this particular ascaris, it is triradiate, terminate, and triradiate, and what we can call denticulate. Triradiate, terminate, and denticulate. We are going to see the structure of these particular. What is the mouth exactly which is going to present? So this is the, if you go through this mouth structure, this is the mouth which is going to present. Okay. So in this mouth, triradiate. What is mean by triradiate? Here it is. This is the terminal, that is terminal portion. Next, triradiate means I am going to make it structures. Okay. This one, this one. Next, another structure which is going to be present. That particularly. Okay, little. Okay, inside also same like this. Another. So here it is. I'm going to explain. You don't worry about that. Okay. So generally this is a little bigger than this one. I'm going to make it again. Okay. So this is the mouth. This is the mouth. In this particularly you can able to observe. This is the triradiate. What does it mean triradiate? So this is the, here it is dorsal lip. This is the dorsal. This is the dorsal lip. This is the dorsal lip. These two are lateroventral lips. So these two are lateroventral lips. These two are lateroventral lips. I'm going to make it another color for this particularly to make you understand very clearly. So here it is. This is the, what is this? This is particularly dorsal lip. So these two are ventrolateral lips. So in middle portion that is going to be mouth. So this is the mouth. This is the mouth. Okay. And here also these denticles which are going to present. These are the denticles. What is this? Denticles. These are the denticles. So these are the denticles. So exactly in this portion, mouth which is going to be present, and mouth which is going to be surrounded by the dorsal lip and another lateroventral lips. Lateroventral lips. Next, what are these structures? This dorsal lip which contain the, this, what are these structures? Papilla. This is the double papilla. So this is the double papilla. So this is the papilla, double papilla. So here also, here it is one double papilla, here it is two double papilla in dorsal lip, here it is one ventrolateral lip which contain the one double papilla, here it is also one double papilla which is going to present, and here also, here it is the amphid which is going to be present, amphid. It is the chemoreceptor, amphid is going to be chemoreceptor. So this is the triradiate mouth, means here it is triradiate, one dorsal lip, ventrolateral two lips, and terminal region which is going to present, that is the reason why terminal. Next, denticulate. So denticles which are going to be surrounding this marginal side of the lips. So this is the marginal side. So this is the marginal side of the lips. Denticles which are going to be present, marginal side of the lips, denticles which are going to be present, denticles. So that's what it is going to be, triradiate, terminate and denticulate lips which are going to be present. So this is about mouth region. This is about mouth region. Next, this is about mouth region. Next, we are going to body is going to be covered by body wall. This body wall which is going to be consist of cortex region, next matrix region, collagen fibers. Okay, next basement membrane. Next, another one, syncytial epidermis. Syncytial epidermis. This syncytial epidermis which is going to be secretes the cuticle and keratinized protein also which is going to present. So if you are going to be observe the body form or body wall of that particular Ascaris, you can able to observe cortex region, next matrix region, then after that collagen fibers, basement membrane, syncytial epidermis. Syncytial means that particular epidermis which is having, which can able to secrete the cuticle and also which is having particularly longitudinal lining thickening which is going to present body. So this particular cuticle which is going to be giving the protection. Once this particular Ascar is present inside the human being, which is protecting from the digestive juices. So that's what this cuticle gives the protection, which is going to be secreted by syncytial epidermis. So these all the things. What are this? It is a body wall consist of. This is the body wall of this Ascaris. Why? Because it is present inside the human intestine. Is that right? So that's what in human intestine, whatever the digestive juices from stomach and what we call, those and all has to be acidic in nature. How they are going to be protecting? By this cuticle, which is secreted by the syncytial epidermis, which is responsible for that giving the protection. Okay, understand what I am going to say? Next, if you are going to see, this is next. In previous ahead, this one in previously what we were discussed, here it is a digestive system. So in these are also digestive muscular pharynx, which responsible for that rhythmic pumping action of the food material, which is going to be present. And next another, these organisms are separate, sexual dimorphisms which are going to be present. Males and females are separate which are going to be present. Next, if you comes to that reproductive system, in that reproductive system. So in this Ascaris male, this is the indication male, this is the indication female. Okay, so in this male, monarchic testis means single testis which is going to be present. Next, in this Ascaris, two ovaries which are going to be present, two oviducts which are going to be present, two ovaries, two uteri also which is going to be present. So this is the didelphic condition. What is that? Didelphic condition. So didelphic condition which we are going to be observing female Ascaris. Didelphic condition means two ovaries are there, two oviducts are there, two uteri are there, two uterus which are going to be present. So this condition in female Ascaris is called didelphic. In Ascaris is called didelphic. Do you understand what I am going to say? Next one, we are going to be how these organisms which are going to be excretory system. You know excretory system, that is the Renitis cells which are going to be present, excretory system. Okay. Next, these particular organisms which are going to be reproductive system completed. There is no circulatory system, no circulatory and respiratory system. You can able to observe no circulatory system, no proper respiratory system. Next, nervous system. If you are going to be present, nervous system in these organisms, dorsal and ventral ganglion which are going to present, dorsal and ventral ganglions which are going to present. So these which are going to be connected by the commissure, lateral commissure. So this little nervous system which is going to be present in these organisms, dorsal and ventral ganglionic nerve cords which are going to be present. Okay, so this regarding nervous system. Next, so in these organisms, eggs are telogenic eggs. Telogenic in this Ascaris, telogenic eggs. What is mean by telogenic eggs? Means these budding through the budding action of gonads. From gonads through the small buds which are going to be formation takes place. So like that, eggs which are going to be formation takes place. That type of process is called telogenic action. Telogenic not budding action. Telogenic eggs. Okay. Next, fertilization inside which is going to be takes place. Fertilization takes place inside the body of human beings. Fertilization inside. Next, fertilized eggs are called mammillated eggs. What we are going to call it as fertilized eggs are mammillated eggs. Fertilized eggs which we are going to call it as, what is mammillated eggs? So in this, if you are going to be observed, this is the egg. Okay. So this is the egg, and it is going to be surrounded by the three types of layers. Okay. So first one is going to be, here it is, First one is going to be outer layer. It is protein layer, outer protein layer. Next, middle layer is going to be chitinous layer. Okay, next, third layer which is going to be present, esterified glycosides. So this type of egg is called mammillated eggs. What is the purpose of this mammillated eggs? Once these are going to be coming outside, which are viable for even 6 years, they can able to 6 years. Whenever suitable environmental conditions, so these suitable environmental conditions, then only they are going to be what we call which are going to be suitable environmental conditions which are present in soil up to 6 years, where they are going to present in soil. Okay, which are present in soil. So from soil, once again, which is going to be how they are going to be entered through the, once any food material which are going to be consumption takes place, which are going to be entered into mouth, entered mouth and stomach and intestine. So like that, which are going to be present inside the intestine. So intestine, they are going to become thereby adult, and they inside the once reach to the intestine, they are going to become adult. In those adult male and female which are going to be fertilization takes place inside those after fertilization, these eggs which are going to be fertilized eggs, which you are going to call it as mammillated eggs, these mammillated eggs through the feces which are going to be released outside. So only one monogenetic parasite it is. There are previously liver fluke, that and all, which are going to be taken as digenetic parasite. 2 hosts which are going to be required, but in these Ascaris only 1 host. Human beings are going to be only 1 host which is going to be required. Do you understand what I'm going to say? Okay, and these infective stage of eggs which are going to be zygotes which are going to be developed. Next, so these, what are the larval form regarding this? The rhabditiform larva. Rhabditiform larva. Okay, so this is the indirect development in this. Indirect development. So this is about simply these Ascaris. Okay, infective stage is going to be this rhabditiform larva. Second stage of this rhabditiform larva. Second stage of rhabditiform larva is going to be infective stage. Okay, this is simply about Ascaris. Okay, next, if you at last, especially if you take male Ascaris, so in that male Ascaris particularly, here it is in this region. This male particularly, what are the things which are going to be present? So those are free. This is the anus part, is that right? So particularly you can able to, so this is the pre-anal papillae. Next, here it is somewhat post-anal papillae. This pre-anal papillae as well as the post-anal papillae, which are responsible for that, which copulation, which are helping during copulation. Copulation means sexual intercourse. During sexual intercourse or mating, that time these pre-anal papillae as well as the post-anal papillae, these are the 50 pairs, these are the 5 pairs which are going to present. So these are going to be helping during copulation, Okay, in next class we are going to see the how from where to where it is going to be enter, from mouth to intestine, from intestine where it will goes, that and all. Just a little chart that we are going to discuss in next class. Then after that we will move to the another phylum. Okay, thank you.